Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We will be doing horizontal parabolas, and this is part 2, and it's going to be with the graphs. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first we have 5x equals y squared. So we want the x by itself, because remember, if you saw my last video, we saw that instead of the vertical parabola being y equals the vertex form, we have x equals the vertex form. So that's why we need to bring the x by itself. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have divided by 5 and divided by 5, so we get x equals 1 over 5 y squared. I like to write it like that. I don't know, it's just a personal preference. So this one was pretty easy. We already have our vertex form right there, and we can go ahead and identify our a right now. And so we can go ahead and say that a equals 1/5. And we can also say that because a is positive, our graph will indeed open up. So, excuse me, not opens up, opens to the right. Opens right. So yes, we can go ahead and say that. So there we've got 3 of our important key points. So let's go to the next slide. So in the vertex form, sorry, let me just go back. We had x equals 1 over 5 y squared. Since we have that, we can go ahead and assume that our vertex is going to be 0, 0. We can say this because if you remember, the vertex is h comma k, and we do not have an h, nor do we have an a or k. Sorry. So since we don't have a k or an h, we could just replace those with zeros, and our axis of symmetry therefore would be y equals k, and once again y does equal 0, so we could just say y equals 0. And what I need you guys to remember is to always put the y in front of the axis of symmetry, whether it be a vertical line or a vertical parabola or a horizontal parabola. You either put y for the horizontal, x for the vertical. So there we've got that covered. So since we've gotten that, let's go ahead and find our focus and directrix. So our focus would be our formula is h plus 1 over 4a plus, comma, and then it's just going to be a positive k, not plus k. Sorry, that must get you confused. So this would be our focus, and we can, this would be our formula. And if you remember, we had our vertex form was 8x equals 1 over 5 y squared. We did not have a h or k, so we had those as both 0, so we could say that 0 plus 1 over 4 times 1 over 5, since we defined that a was 1/5, and then k, which was again 0. So we could just say that our focus was 5 over 4. Once you do all the 5 over 4, I'm just going to write this somewhere else, 5 over 4, comma, 0. Since 1 if you multiply all that out and everything, which I hope you guys can all do that at this point in time. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so now we have our graphs. So we've got to pick our x's and our y's. So let's go ahead and do that on a separate slide. Okay, so we should, with the horizontal parabolas, always choose y's. Trust me, it will make life a lot easier. So, since we decided that our vertex form was y equals 1 over 5, y equals, that would be completely wrong, x equals 1 over 5 y squared. We've established that, so let's go ahead and choose our y's. Oh my goodness. So when we do that, we try to plug in things for y that will make, that would be easy for us to decipher. So, for example, if we put 0 in for y, we get 0 squared is 0. 0 times 1/5 is 0, so we get 0, 0. And try to pick at least 4. I don't know what your teacher says, but personally I like to choose 4. And we could also do, and then for y, we should also choose 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 1/5 is 1/5. Okay, and then we could also choose, let's see, how about we do 2? We could do 2 squared is 4. 4 times 1/5 is 4/5. Try not to go too high. I mean, you could do, 5 and stuff, but you'd get 25, and, I mean, who really wants to do that? So, it's going to be impossible to graph unless you go by 5s. Anyways, and then we could do, actually, we could do 5, I meant 25, excuse me. If you do 5 for y squared, you get 25. 25 divided by 5 is 5 again. So there you have it, our points that we can plot. So let's go ahead and graph these. So first we had 0, 0. So let's go 0, 0. Okay. As you can see, this is a very hard to graph, I guess you could say. But we'll try our best. And then we have 1/5, 1. Cross 1/5, up 1. Then we have 4/5, 2. Cross 4/5, 2. And then we have 5, 5, which is a lot easier. I don't know if that's exactly a 5, but it's close enough. So then what we can do is we can go ahead and graph that. Remember what our axis of symmetry is. So if we have our axis of symmetry at 0, 0, we can just recopy the points. So we could have one there about. I'm not doing these exact at all. So don't say like if this is at 5, 6. This is just, and then this is just like that. So this is the axis of symmetry. So I hope this lesson was helpful. I hope you tune into my other lessons very shortly and soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.